Righto, we're here with Casey Barnes. Thanks for coming on for a chat, mate.
It is a pleasure. Nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you too,
We're
mate.
down here in hot Melbourne.
Mate, what's going on? Honestly, like the last time I was in Melbourne, I was talking to the boys about it today when we were driving in. I went to the Collingwood Hawks game at the G, and it was literally sleeting, like nearly snowing.
Yeah.
It was so cold, and I was sitting up the top of the Shane Warne stand, I think, and it was horrible. But the Hawks won, so that was good. But it's nice to see the weather has turned on today.
Well, that's down here in Melbourne, and where we're from Ballarat too. You can get all 4 seasons in the same day.
Oh yeah,
and it's just glad we got the summer today.
absolutely.
May Day tour, mate. You're on it at the moment. How's it going?
Good, yeah. We haven't really stopped so far this year. We brought the album out towards the end of May, so we've been on the road pretty much flat sticks since then, and we've done 2 trips to the States. We played Stagecoach a little earlier in the year, which was amazing, and then CMA Fest, and we've just been flat stick, and it's good. It's good to be out playing live again.
Do you feel like going over there, like obviously for us as country fans, coming over here, we appreciate how big it is, like when all these artists are coming big. Do you feel like pretty welcome over to the States when you get over there? Do you feel like a really big artist when you get over there, like people get around during that?
Yeah, they couldn't be more welcoming, especially when we played Stagecoach, just to actually, sing your own songs and have people in the crowd singing the words back on the other side of the world was pretty trippy. So, that was really cool.
Is there a highlight so far from the May Day tour? Like, is there something that really stood out for you so far? Obviously, being on the road flat out.
I have to say, it'd probably be an equal between CMC Rocks. This year was probably one of my favourite shows we've ever done. And then just getting to play Stagecoach, because it is the holy grail of country festivals. 75,000 people, and, we're mixing it backstage with, you just look around and you're just like, holy shit, like I cannot believe, there's Morgan Wallen, there's Post Malone, there's Cindy Crawford, and like all these, you're just like, what the hell are all these people doing here? It's like, it was cool. It was very cool.
I think I talk about to people, like, if people in this scene, everyone's still normal people, aren't they? So to have a yarn to them people, you feel pretty special in the time being able to chat to such good artists. How good is it? Like, everyone's the same. Like, we're all normal people at the end of the day, aren't we?
Absolutely, yeah. And that's the thing. I think Americans are just super welcoming, especially of Aussies. They've got a soft spot for us for whatever reason it is, and
party hard.
It's great, yeah. And same at CMA Fest as well. We it's great to make new fans, and the Aussies just seem to be doing well over there right now.
And it's good to see, isn't it? Like, we've had a couple of little artists come on, Austin McKay and that, and he's been over at Nashville for probably now a couple of months, hasn't he?
Yeah, a couple of months.
And he's loving it over there. He said he feels so respected, like they just love his music and that.
Yes.
So it's so good to see little artists get over there and start up their career. Started.
That's the next big goal. I'm actually heading back next week for the 3rd trip this year. So it's been a very expensive year on that front, but yeah, we're getting that little bit closer and it seems to be working okay.
Yeah, definitely.
That's awesome. So me and you have actually got something in common. So this year I was on Australian Idol and received a wild card. And I know that you did in 2009.
Yes.
I was only 6 at the time.
Yeah, wow. Holy crap.
That made you feel old.
Sorry, but it made you feel good. What is there anything from that experience that you've learned and still draw on today?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think lots of stuff. You would have been the same. I mean, it gets you out of your comfort zone. Before I went on Idol, I'd not really done many shows where I wasn't playing guitar. So the guitar was always my comfort zone, that I felt good when I was, and putting it down, I was just like, what do I do now? Like, where do I move? What do I do with my hands and all this sort of thing? And that brought a different side out, to the point now where I'm the complete opposite, where I much prefer running around like a lunatic without my guitar than being stuck in one spot. So yeah, I learned a lot for sure.
Yeah. Well, I was sort of the same. I'd never done any sort of gig before Idol, because I signed up when I was drunk at the pub and I forgot about it. But and then after that, just been doing gigs and doing the show. It sort of got me confidence up and sort of taught me how to perform, sort of how to do it. And I'm glad I went on the show.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I'd resisted it for ages beforehand. I'd have drunk punters that had come up to me at the end of I was doing solo gigs back in those days, and they'd had a few schooners, and they'd be like, I reckon you should go on that. I reckon you should go on that Idol show, mate. I reckon you go, all right. And I'd be like, nah, it's not for me. And I ended up doing the same. I caved in and gave it a shot. didn't think I'd even get through. So it's funny, yeah.
Yeah. How far did you actually get through?
We made it into the top 12. It was funny. The same year I was on, James Johnston was in the top 12 with us. Adam Eckersley was on the same series as us. So, yeah, it was a good year, actually.
Yeah, we've sat down with James before. Just recently had a really good interview with him. We went and seen him play at the Rod Laver just recently.
Oh, he's a great fella.
He's awesome.
Yeah,
he's great. So, one that's probably like for us, big stage we've sort of spoke about like that going on. Is there like a local venue or pub that you've played at that you just love? Like it's just your go-to place?
Probably a couple. Any hometown shows are good. There's a venue on the Gold Coast called Miami Marquetta, and we love playing there because it's just a hometown gig. But for me as well, like I grew up in Tassie as a kid, and the first time I ever got on a stage, as I don't know, would have just probably still been in high school, 14 or 15, was at this little place called the Fourth Pub on the northwest coast of Tassie, and it used to be this tiny little pub. And Mum's got a photo somewhere of me getting up with the band, playing and singing, and then fast forward to the last couple of years, they've now renovated the venue, and it's become this amazing live music venue down in Tassie. And we launched my last album down there, and we actually played there again earlier this year. And it's just a great, wicked venue. And all of my old school buddies and old footy mates and teachers and everyone just came out of the woodwork and turned up. So that was cool.
Yeah, it's one of them things, like their memories, like they're so close to you as a kid and growing up, and then you just the appreciation to get back there and enjoy it. You can just sit back and just really enjoy it.
100%.
Local pub gigs are the best.
Absolutely.
They're so fun.
It's where everyone starts, isn't it? Like that's where you got to start, like a local pub gig with punters coming up to you blind telling you to go on Australia.
Exactly.
That's where you got to start.
Exactly, yeah. No, and I mean, I was lucky. I sort of cut my teeth for a long time doing those pub gigs for ages before I started doing what we're doing now. So you learn a lot, that's for sure,
Yeah, definitely.
Song that you sang, like getting up on stage and doing that.
Yes.
Do you remember what was the first song that you sang and blew the nerves out with?
I do. Yeah, I do. The first song that I sang. So at that point, I was living in Launceston, and I'll give you the short version of the story. But there was a little Irish pub on the corner, directly across the road from where I went to school. And out the front there was a little blackboard, and it said who plays on whatever different nights of the week. And I used to think, and I'd walk past there every day and I'd be like, if I can just get my name on that blackboard, I reckon I've hit the big time. And that's it. I'm done. I'm happy with that. And so I used to go in and watch this guy, play on a Friday or a Saturday night. And he ended up coming over and saying, do you want to get up and do a song? And I was like, no, there's no way. I was shitting myself. I'm like, no way I'm doing that. And my mates were like, no, just go on, do a song. And the first song I did was, it was Holy Grail by the Hunters and Collectors.
Awesome. Yeah.
And
what a cracker.
It went down great. The manager heard me play it. And then he said, do you want to start maybe on a Tuesday night? And then that was my first gig. I got my name on the blackboard and I was like, I'm away.
So obviously that was a goal then. Is there a goal now? Like obviously we just spoke about going over. So is there a goal there now that is the blackboard?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Stagecoach has been the big one for the last 10 years because it's such a big festival. And so we got to tick that off. I mean, next would be, man, it'd be a dream to play Nissan Stadium at CMA Fest. You know, like we've been over and done that a few times now, but just sitting in that crowd and watching the atmosphere when Luke Combs comes out or Keith comes out and on that main stage, it's pretty electric. So that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Is there any artists of your favourite, like that you would love to do a duet with, or anyone that you'd like to collaborate with?
Yeah, there's a few actually. Well, Mackenzie Porter here today. I'm a big fan of her work. I think she's really super talented. We actually did some writing together last year and wrote a song together that, who knows, we might be able to record it at some point. But I've always had so much respect for Keith, what he's been able to do for such a long time. And he's also a ripping guy, such a nice bloke. And it was funny, a couple of years ago, we got to meet him backstage. He was playing up in Queensland, and it was a real last minute thing. Whoever was looking after him said, look, if you can get here within the next half an hour, we'll get you backstage and we'll get you to meet Keith. And I think we were at like a surf club smashing a couple of beers and a counter meal or something. We hoed down our food and got in an Uber and got there real quick and got to go backstage, and he came over straight away and gave me a hug. And it was just after I'd won the ARIA award, and he knew that I'd won it. And he said, congratulations, gave me this big hug. And I was like, I cannot believe this guy knows who I am. So, yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Awesome.